Welcome back to the third episode of Tales from the Vic, our month-long series in which I am laying my pal Vic over here, the biggest horror expert I know, pick out 4 films that he wanted to talk about in order to try and help everyone out there get a little bit more of a knowledge of the more obscure horror movies out there, ones that you might not have heard of.
Yeah,
and man, I can guarantee you, no one under the age of 25 knows what this movie is.
I promise. I'd put big money on this one.
Yeah, this is the safest bet that I will probably.
Oh
make.
yeah, this is that 10,000 to 1 shot.
Yeah, don't get me wrong. There are definitely going to be some people I know what that is. Yeah, but you're the exception, man. Kudos to you on it, by the way.
Seriously, you're my friend now.
Yes. The movie is Night of the Creeps.
Night of the Creeps.
And when I saw this on the list, I was like, I've always heard of this film, but I've never watched it. I'll go ahead and watch it. And then literally 2 seconds into the movie, I went, oh, I've seen this. I know exactly what this movie is. Because it is a very memorable film second that you start watching it. Because this movie, you look at the box art for it, and it's okay, it's a zombie movie. All right, it's just another zombie film. Opening shot of this thing. Opening goddamn shot. Is this little 2-foot tall alien running through a spaceship, holding some weird canister. He's being chased by other 2-foot tall aliens, shooting down with ray guns. And I'd like to remind everyone, you have no idea. If you went into the theaters and saw this, you would probably be did they start the wrong thing? That's
the feeling you get when this movie starts. It's not the movie that's advertised.
No,
it's not. But it's such a great setup.
Yes,
it is such a great setup. He's got a canister with him that, briefly you see there's these something's crawling inside, and he shoots it out, and we land in 1950s black and white, California, whatever, to this couple.
Anytown, USA.
Essentially, to this couple sitting in a car, much of those young couples did. Back then,
they're at Makeout Lane.
You know, and they're on the radio. It was an escaped mental patient with an axe is roaming around killing people.
Again, I'd like to remind everyone: no one going into this movie thought that any of this was going to be in it. It's not.
No.
The rest of this film is not in 1950s, and it's not black and white.
It is, but the thing is, as you're watching this movie, it's a brilliant setup. It's just such a smart setup.
It's one of the first times that I can remember a movie trying to play on being an older type of film, basically just trying to come in here and going well, this is what things were like back then as a setup for what's going on here. And not things and I don't mean it was a flashback. I mean they straight up went this is what a 1950s movie looked like. And we're shoving it into the middle of your 1980s horror film.
Exactly. It's that kind of movie. And sadly, the girl in the car gets chopped by the axe. Just dies horribly, and then the jock guy comes back and he gets a mouthful of slug. And then we fast forward, Night of the Creeps. It's 1986, 87.
I was 86, yeah.
And it's same town, and it's a local legend that's happened there. We're introduced to Chris Romero and his buddy Jamie Carpenter Hopper.
Everybody, that's so
let's get this out of the way now.
I'm gonna give everyone a second to try and figure that out. Okay, every single character in here has a name based on a famous horror movie director.
And it's so cute and adorable, and I love it.
And I honestly hate that it took me half the film to realize that. It did not kick in immediately.
You're not gonna fall in love with a girl that's named Cynthia Cronenberg.
That was the one.
That name just
that was the one that got me, because the other ones I was all right, that's nothing, Romero should have ticked me off, but for some reason it didn't. But when it got to Cronenberg, that was the moment that the record scratched. I was no one is named Cronenberg.
Really? It's very on the nose, but I mean, you could tell Fred Decker, the writer and director, is a fan of these guys. He's the guys he grew up watching, so you gotta appreciate it for that.
Yeah.
But
even the smallest characters.
Yeah.
There's a sheriff who you meet for a second whose last name is Raimi.
Yeah. I love it. But basically, these two kids, they want to get into a fraternity. Chris is in love with Cynthia. He thinks he's the prettiest girl in the sorority. And as an initiation trick, they're supposed to go down to some science basement, and because they got something locked up down there. And
that was a thing in 80s films where schools would just have weird science departments working on stuff.
With something sinister or something weird hidden inside, like is that where my college money's going?
Yeah.
Is that
Is that why my student loans are so high?
Yeah, is that what this is? Because you guys are doing some secret shit in the basement?
It wasn't just schools, but it was also like just your job, just any place. There was a basement and crazy stuff was going on, like Return of the Living Dead.
Yes.
We watched that one a few weeks ago on here.
I love that one.
Yeah, just like, oh, hey, what's the weirdest thing you've ever seen? Oh, well, in the basement we have zombies. It's like, what?
Yeah, apparently in that world, Night of the Living Dead was a real thing.
Yes.
And just got, swept under the rug very quickly. That's another good one. But they unwittingly unfreeze the jock in the beginning, and then the slugs get out, and then pretty much from there, everyone starts turning into these mindless zombies that are, once they get infected by the slugs, just jumping into their mouths. Which also is like the funniest way. They just jump in and like you could tell.
It's the weirdest like reverse animation.
It's just like it's just so bad.
It's the weirdest reverse animation.
Yeah,
not reverse animation. What was it? Reverse acting.
Yeah, right, that I've seen, but it works so good.
It does. It lets you know exactly what this film is like. It also makes me wonder if, James Gunn might have like watched this and been influenced.
Actually, it was. He's mentioned that Night of the Creeps was a influence on Slither.
Okay.
It was, yeah, because that's the same thing with the slugs that come from the aliens. It's like he's mentioned before. Yeah, it's definitely inspired by that. I'm like, that's why I love James Gunn.
Yeah.
But we're introduced after all that happens. We're introduced to Tom Atkins characters. I mean, if you're not familiar with Tom Atkins, he's like B-movie genre all-time hero.
You're looking at your actual cryogenics lab. They've had some kid's body on ice here since 1959.
What is this, a homicide or a bad B-movie?
Halloween 3, freaking Maniac Cop.
Oh god, he was Maniac Cop.
He was Carpenter's go-to guy, Escape from New York, The Fog. I mean, just look up Tom Atkins and you'll see this guy has been in like everything.
He's like one notch below Bruce Campbell when it comes to like B-movie.
Yeah, exactly. When he comes
not
to
in terms of like acting or anything. I'm not gonna compare them on that.
No, not at all. But like in terms of like that, your fondness of him, he's absolutely up there.
Yeah,
hands down. And he's just I love him. I love him in this movie. He's like an old school detective who just shows up with cigarettes and just like thrill me.
He's got a catchphrase.
Yeah,
like they wanted this guy to be on T-shirts, but not like in a like studio is trying to like make money way.
Yeah,
but like no, we want to create that style of character.
Yes,
like that guy who's got that much impact and that much impact on the audience. Because yeah, the moment that he ever answers a phone call, he always answers it with "thrill me." Like even when he's at home.
Thrill me.
Detective Cameron?
No, Bozo the Clown.
It's like this was the day before. This was the day and age before caller ID. He's just answering random phone calls with "thrill me."
It's just
and of course there's someone with a big case for him at all times.
Yeah. And it's
no one's gonna question it.
This is a sci-fi B-movie slasher zombie homage that
it absolutely is.
That was literally destined for the cult classic status that it has rightfully achieved.
Yeah,
it is. I love that movie. So I remember this playing on like the Channel 11 Saturday afternoon movie, like with commercials and all. I didn't even know what it was called. All I know is that I was getting creeped out by these slugs. And just the way their eyes turn like super white and like the makeup is actually pretty cool.
It's pretty good and gooey too.
Yeah,
yeah, like everybody has got stuff coming out of them at all times.
I mean, and there's a flamethrower in the movie.
At the end of this film, they go nuts with it. At the end of this film, they're just like, you know what? Just whatever our weird zombie fantasies are, we're just gonna make it happen.
Yeah. And it's like, if you've ever seen the poster, it's literally the two leads against the sorority house being surrounded by like the zombies and him with like the blowtorch. That's in the movie.
Yeah.
That is in the movie. And it's just like one of the coolest lines is like, all the asshole jocks are in this bus and a dog that's been infected with the slug just runs out to the street, and the bus crashes. Like weirdly, because he just doesn't know how to turn, and everyone on the bus gets infected with the slugs. So then there's this awesome scene where Chris Romero and the detective, they're in the sorority house, and Tom Hanks is just looking out the window. He's like, well, I got some good news for you. Your dates are here.
That is such a good line.
And the problem is they're dead. And I'm like, what?
I got good news and bad news, girls. The good news is your dates are here.
What's the bad news?
They're dead.
That was such a great line. And it's one of those like, no, that is the only thing that a B movie character actor could sell.
Yeah.
Like a professional actor could not sell that. Like, and when I say professional, I don't mean like does it for a living. I mean like,
No.
hey, I studied at Juilliard. Like,
Yeah,
no,
like I don't expect Tom Hanks to sell that to me.
No. No, there is a certain level of cheesiness that goes into a B movie performance, and he knew it and he nailed it.
Exactly. That's why I really do enjoy guys like him, Bruce Campbell, Walken to a certain extent. Like they'll take like
Walken's definitely up there, yeah.
They'll take material that's essentially just like not up to par, like stuff that's like the A-list wouldn't do, but they'll still treat it as like, yeah, no, I don't give a shit. I'm gonna make this work.
Yeah.
And they make it work, and it's just like. Any other actor playing that character, I don't think would have done as good a job as Tom Atkins did. Like, I'm unabashedly a fan of yours, Tom, if you're watching.
And the weird thing is, there are a lot of character actors in here. Like, who's the scientist?
The scientist, oh man, I know him, but he's
that guy who you point at and go, it's that guy from that thing.
You were in that with him.
Yeah.
I remember you.
It's not Kevin Pollak, but it's that guy.
David Paymer.
Thank you.
David Paymer. Yeah, that horrible carpool movie with
Tom Arnold.
Yeah, he's the dad in that. He did like City
When
Hall.
that's the first thing you go to, it says a lot.
I know, but it's the thing is I used to watch that a lot when I was.
It was on HBO all the time.
It was on HBO all the time, and I was young, and I thought it was fun. But then you rewatch, like, oh, this movie's garbage. But David Paymer, a really cool character actor. He's been in a lot of stuff.
He's one of those guys who he shows up to work.
Yes, exactly. Like, I'm here to work. You guys have seen Ocean's 13. He's the poor guy that does the review that they just torture with giving him a rash and stuff. But yeah, he plays the scientist. It's just a lot of. I love this movie.
Yeah.
And I mean, Fred Dekker, who would go on to write or co-write The Monster Squad. Monster Squad with Shane Black. Those two, they'll go way back. They just did The Predator, which it's a very you love it or you hate it movie.
I've been noticing that.
There's no middle ground for that. I got my own thoughts on that, but that's not for this.
Yeah.
But unfortunately, Fred really only did 3 movies. He did Night of the Creeps, which is a great movie. He did Monster Squad, another great movie. Then he did RoboCop 3.
That's the only RoboCop I haven't seen because I've seen people make that reaction.
It's like. And then he really didn't do much after that until now doing The Predator, which got me super excited because it's Fred Dekker and Shane Black, 2 guys that would know the material well. And if you guys have seen the movie and you guys know both writers and directors, then it's like we deserved more.
Yeah. Although that's one of those ones where it's like, I feel like it's a combination of like the studio coming in here, because there's an awful editing job in that film.
Oh yeah, it's pretty obvious that whole final act was just one big, huge reshoot.
Yeah.
That would definitely needed more time in the oven to get polished. Like seriously.
Exactly.
The CGI is horrendous at the end. Horrendous. Also, I'm not scared of a CGI Predator. A man in a costume is more terrifying.
And their costume still looks. We watched that like a few weeks ago to prep for the new Predator film. It still looks damn good.
It still works no matter what. I was watching the shitty Aliens vs. Predator movies, and they wore costumes. And those movies came out no more than like 10 years ago.
Yeah.
Oh, damn. 10 years. Oh, we're getting old.
Predator has been through the wheat trash.
Been to the ringer.
Yeah. But back to Night of the Creeps. We haven't really talked about what was the buddy in here. Romero's buddy.
Oh yeah, JC Hooper.
Yeah, that was it.
JC Hooper.
Poor guy, but also one of the best sidekick characters of any 80s film.
Very true.
Because there was like every 80s film, it had that formula of I'm going to have the basic all-American, average Joe, kind of down on his luck main guy, and then the jokey best friend who's there to like keep his spirits high.
Yeah.
This is one of the best of those I've ever seen. Like,
Yeah.
he's legit funny.
Yes, he is.
Like,
yeah,
I
absolutely.
love that opening where he has to go and try and convince the girl to go and talk to his friend. And just like, my time, much like Brett's intelligence, is limited. Like, man, talk about a guy who can just sell a line.
Oh
there.
man, just he's quick as a whip. I love it. Yeah,
Incredible.
and I thought it was really cool that they gave him like the crutches.
Yeah.
They he's I don't know if they ever really say if he has like
I don't think they say why he has them, but yeah, he's definitely got some kind of like a
disability,
Yeah.
or like walking condition where he uses those. And I'm like that's awesome. That just means that they're best friends despite everything.
Also, it's you put him in this situation, it leads up to, and again, this is the point which like, spoiler,
Yeah.
tune out now. Like, this film is incredibly fun. I highly recommend it. It is like one of those things that I guarantee you a lot of people out there have never even heard of. So go and check it out. But now, spoiler time. It leads up to, this film has just been goofy and fun this entire time. It has a legit, like, very dramatic, sad moment in there.
Oh yeah.
Because there's the moment when he gets possessed.
Yeah.
And he decides he has to kill himself by going down to the boiler because he knows that fire hurts them. And he just leaves a tape recording for his friend. And it's the moment when she's like saying like, I walked with my own 2 legs. I walked down to the boiler. And which raises the question, how is he leaving this tape for his friend if he's already gone and killed himself? But it's still like, don't think about that.
Yeah.
It's, the moment itself is great.
Exactly. It's all about the emotion.
And the emotions in that, like, I had seen this film before, and yet as I was watching this for the second time, like, it all came back, I was like, that is an incredible, like, final moment for this character.
Yeah. No,
it's so
really
sad.
is. I remember watching it, and then like Chris is just sitting on the chair, and he's just like listening to this, and then you could hear him like transforming into like a zombie.
Yeah, you could hear it.
Like you hear him like started like growling and and like losing his mind, and like Chris is just like devastated, and then that's what leads him to like, yo, I'm gonna put on that tux and I'm gonna go get Cynthia because that's my good lady.
Yeah.
But yeah,
And kudos to this film on holding on that moment, like not cutting away to
no, not at all. It's like a zoom in shot of him
It
like
is
listening
a slow
to.
zoom,
Yeah.
and it's like a solid minute of him just monologuing about how he had to go and kill himself. It's
Yeah.
like, God damn, that is dark.
I mean, I love when a movie that's unabashedly a fun time could take the time out to be like, we're having a good time, but like, I mean, your friends, people are gonna die, and especially if it's your friend, it's gonna hurt.
Yeah.
It's really gonna hurt.
Exactly. This has like, I'm like honestly comparing this to like a lot of like the Night of the Living Dead films, a lot of the other famous zombie films out there. Like, Shaun of the Dead really is the only zombie film I can think of that has like a more sorrowful this character died moment.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Definitely.
That's like the only one that I can go like, no, that tops it. But this is a good second in there.
I've gone to the furnace room, the basement. If I don't come back, he will kill them. I walked, Chris. All by myself, I walked.
I mean, like even where going back to Return of the Living Dead, where oh my god, I forget his name.
The guy who's like the jock guy and working in the.
Yeah.
Oh no, you're talking about the guy. Oh, I know.
Who throws himself in the I forget his name. Damn.
It's like he kept calling himself like Uncle something. I can't remember. Yeah.
But he throws himself in the oven. He kills himself. But it's like even that, like the way it's shot, the way the music's a little more dramatic, the fact that he like opens it and like shuts it down, like there's this little comedic thing at the end. I'm like, it's still funny.
Yeah.
Not sad. It's still funny.
Although when he takes his wedding ring off, it's like, you haven't mentioned your wife once in this entire film.
At all.
Puts it on there. It's like, shit, this guy has his own life outside of this film. It was such a nice little touch. I'm glad you brought that up because after we got done recording our review, I realized I forgot to talk about that, and it's such a good scene.
It is a really good scene.
Yeah.
Amazing that they also show up in the sequel.
Wait, what?
Return of the Living Dead 2, both him and I forget his name, but the jock guy, the original 2 that get gassed, they were in the sequel.
The U.S. government can't do anything right, can they?
I don't know.
Spoiler for how that film ends. That is a weird sentence for anybody who doesn't know how Return of the Living Dead ends.
Yeah, seriously. Have you ever seen it? It ends on a way where it's like, doesn't make
I
sense.
won't spoil it, but it ends with the government stepping in and basically being like, all right, we'll handle the zombie problem.
Pretty much.
I won't say anything else, but it definitely looked like they handled the problem.
It's one of the most shocking endings I think I've seen in a while.
I saw that movie when I was a kid for the first time,
Yeah.
and man, I didn't know any of that stuff going into it, and man, it blew my mind. I watched it recently for this month's THORGIWEEN with my wife, and she used to be in the Navy.
Oh,
And
cool.
she cracked up at that scene
It's
because she was like, those aren't actual real call signs. I was like, that's what you're focusing on in this moment?
I thought like the situation itself. Call signs, really?
She picked up on it. All right. Good
Smart.
for her.
Very smart.
Very smart, yeah.
I love it.
Let's see. Anything else we want to cover about Night of the Creeps? Oh, no, there is none. As long as we're in spoiler country here. This thing has the craziest setup for a sequel that never happened.
It breaks my heart. It really does, because like it leaves it. Oh, it's so juicy. But basically, all right, you go on no spoilers. You leave now. We'll give you some time.
We already spoiled like the big emotional moment, but this is the last
All
big
right,
like.
so now
what the
that
fuck?
you've walked out, so basically, Tom Atkins sacrifices himself in the basement with this huge pile of like slugs just like piling up in the corner.
Get out of here! Take time to get out! Get the hell out of here!
And he's like, thrill me, and then blows himself up, blows up
Does
the
his
house.
catchphrase and everything.
Yeah, saves the day. A slug gets out, right, and like
In
crawling
him.
through.
It's
in
like
him,
his
in
corpse
him, his corpse
walking
has
around.
one. Exactly. He walks
He's
out,
just a burnt zombie walking around.
and just like falls, and out comes a slug.
They
The
made like
reveal-
Curly from Three Stooges sounds too when they were walking around.
It's and it's essentially the camera pulls back to where he fell, and it's a freaking graveyard.
It's a cemetery and a big one too.
Yes, it's a big cemetery. Not only that, so they crawl in. All you see is a big spotlight. You don't see where it's coming from, but you assume it's like a police van. But no, it's the alien spaceship from the beginning, still looking for the slugs. So not only would we had an awesome zombie sequel, but it would have been aliens versus zombies. And it never happened. It never happened.
It's so weird that like Dynamite Comics keeps buying up all these weird horror franchises.
Yeah.
Books, and it's like, dude, go with something like this.
Please, give me I would take a sequel in comic form for I can make a list.
There's a long list.
Of movies that deserve sequels that would be great as comics. That would be the medium is perfect for it, or like a one-shot graphic novel. I would eat it up.
Yeah.
I'm all about it. Like the Boom's done it with Escape from New York and Big Trouble in Little China crossover.
That's great. That's a
yeah.
great book,
I used to plug that all the time when that book was coming out. It's fantastic. It's such a great crossover that you didn't know you actually wanted, but just works on so many levels, and it's done with like the utmost care to like the characters and like the love of the fandom.
Yeah,
so
like
good.
you read that book and you're just like, Greg Pak knows these characters.
Yeah, like that's one I would really love to see as like an animated movie or a miniseries or just a Netflix show. Netflix, man, give me some sequels here.
Netflix, why do you just keep buying up like horrible things? And why can't you just like pick the good shit out there you don't
Yes.
do anything with?
Give me something, man.
Netflix does do some good stuff. They got
No.
Castlevania, and that new Sabrina actually looks really damn good.
Yes,
Yeah.
yeah, absolutely.
I just binge read all of the Sabrina books like to like prep for this. Holy shit, that's a dark series.
Yes, considerably dark, and they got the girl playing her. Did you ever watch the Black Coat's Daughter?
No, but I'm aware of it. Yeah.
It's a really awesome like indie horror movie. She was in it.
Oh, okay.
She blew me away. She's amazing in it. So it makes sense that she's a new Sabrina because
Okay.
she's she's a little Hellraiser.
Okay. Nice. I can't wait for it. But yeah, Night of the Creeps would be a great sequel to make. Also, like, still set like in the 80s and just like now
Yes.
play up like the craziness of like being.
Absolutely, like Chris and Cynthia, they're a couple now. Maybe set it like the very early 90s.
Yeah.
They're out of college, they're starting their life together, and it's just like killings start happening, and oh man. I would find a way to bring
They're
back
back?
like Tom Atkins, like somehow, like the youth.
Oh,
like,
the aliens rejuvenated.
yeah,
or something?
exactly.
Yeah. We're making this film.
It's happening. As you can see, the pieces are already
How
coming
much?
together.
How much would the rights for Night of the Creeps cost? Like, it can't. We could buy it for a song. Like, it can't
Fred,
be that much.
I'm gonna Fred, I'm gonna call you up, man.
Granted, I can't even
we
get
got
a good green
ideas.
screen going, but I can probably make like a reverse motion slug come out of someone's mouth.
Yeah, I think so.
All right, thank you guys very much. We got one more Tales from the Vic. I almost called it Night of the Creeps. We got one more Tales from the Vic, and we will have a special guest on that one. You'll probably know who, because it's the other person who normally stands in front of the green screen with me. Thank you guys for tuning in. Come back next week.
Take it
Bye.
easy.